Hugh, we have, I would say, a concern we haven't had for the most part this entire season. For the first time in a while, I'm having some concern over our starting pitching. And not because it hasn't performed for the most part. It still has, right? They've been the best starting rotation in baseball. But it feels like we have some cracks all of a sudden that have not popped up the entire season. So let's start with the Zack Wheeler one. We brought it up yesterday. The news broke before our show ended that Zack Wheeler's start, which was scheduled for tomorrow night against the Rangers, has now been pushed back to Sunday. He has soreness in his shoulder, which is a little bit more soreness, Topper said, than normal. Here's what caught my attention. A couple things. One, he hasn't been as good lately. Two, he did skip the All-Star game, which is right around the time this soreness began, and now my antenna's up that maybe that's the reason he skipped the All-Star game. And then I read last night, Matt Gelb, The Athletic, wrote that the soreness has been going on, according to sources, for about 3 weeks. So it's not just like the soreness came after his last start. We're talking about a few weeks of soreness here from Zack Wheeler. Let's hear from Topper yesterday about what's going on with Zack Wheeler.
Wheeler came out of his last start a little sore, more sore than he normally is. So we got an image done. It's clean. We're just going to give him a couple extra days. So it's going to be Sanchi on Friday, Luzardo on Saturday, and Wheeler on Sunday.
Where is he feeling?
In the shoulder.
Okay. Are you concerned about that?
No.
Why
The
not?
image was clean.
Okay. Did he come to you guys?
Well, it's through the trainers. Yeah.
Do you think it's affected his command a little bit? I mean, I know in the New York start he was a little.
I think the complete game affected his command.
All right, so there's a lot to unpack there. So Wheeler's been dealing with this for a little bit. He went to the trainers. They got an MRI. He came back clean. That's the good news. But obviously there's enough here that they're pushing his start back. According to the article from The Athletic, this has been going on for a few weeks. Again, he did skip the All-Star game, which now in retrospect I keep thinking about. That was in Atlanta. That's his hometown. We know he's going to retire in a couple of years. This is probably his only chance to start an All-Star game in his hometown. And he said, no, I'm not going. And then Topper, they're bringing up that he hasn't maybe been himself since the complete game a little while ago. And then I thought about this past Saturday. So Saturday was his last start, the game against the Tigers in Schuylkill. And I think we played this on Monday. Here is Wheeler after the game on Saturday talking about why he was still in there in the seventh inning.
I feel bad for Topper. I don't know if you guys asked him, but that was on me going back out there for the seventh. Kind of told him that I really wanted to, and we just had that respect for each other, so he let me. But at the end of the day, maybe I shouldn't have, but I really did feel good being able to go back out there. So, if it turned out differently, then I'm not even sitting here saying that, but I just want to take that off of him. That one's on me.
All right, there's a lot to unpack here with the Wheeler thing. We're all going to cross our fingers. This is just typical long season. He's got a lot of starts under his belt, a little soreness that he's going to be fine. And I'm still thinking that's going to be it. But just thinking back to like Topper, if you know he's got some soreness lately, why are you letting him go an extra inning because he wants to? Topper's got to retake control of this thing and not let the players just run the team. Hugh, where are you on the Wheeler thing? Because it feels like there's something there. We're going to hope it's not something big.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck on the Topper letting him back out there thing. I don't know, Joe. And I feel like he was protecting Topper. I think he wanted to go back out there.
Sure.
And Topper believed, like we talked about, and to try to work out of whatever it is he was going through.
But if you know your best pitcher's sore and has been sore for a couple weeks,
you got to believe in him.
Or you have to exercise caution.
Yeah, but pitchers don't normally, they get little quirks and little things that happen that they have to work through in order to feel right again. Because I'm assuming, and I'm just assuming here, that with him, this is probably something that is not new to him. He's like, oh, it's not that serious, but I feel a little something. And he's like, maybe if I guess, throw my way out of it, I'll feel better. That's what it kind of feels like.
Well, it didn't work, though. Because then he went for an MRI, and now we're pushing the start back.
And then not only that, it sounds like, to me, that he informed them weeks ago.
Something's going on.
But he can still pitch.
But now he's not pitching as effectively, and his velocity is a little bit down. So I had zero concern on Monday about Wheeler. Now that we find all this out about something going on, I'm concerned. I mean, I don't know how you're not at all. If someone is not concerned, I think you're living under a rock a little bit. Our best pitcher, and one of the best pitchers in baseball, has a sore shoulder. That in itself is concerning. So that's one element of the starting rotation. But here we have another issue now, and that is this deja vu all over again with Ranger Suarez? Last year, Ranger Suarez was amazing in April, May, and June. And then the second half of the season hit, and he just wasn't that guy anymore. And he just was very, mediocre, pedestrian the rest of the way. And it feels like we're doing that again. So Ranger Suarez missed the first month. He came back early May. He pitched against the Diamondbacks. He got lit up. Then he went on about a 7-week stretch where no one touched Ranger. I think his ERA in June was like 1.3. Mm-hmm. If you look at Ranger's numbers, including yesterday where he got hit around by the Orioles, he has like a 4.5 ERA since the beginning of July, and his velocity has dipped a little bit here. Your concern level with the starting rotation right now, which has been the rock of the team, but now all of a sudden 2 of our best 3 guys, not going well right now.
Yeah, that's somewhat of a concern because you're talking about yesterday. I remember when yesterday was a ground ball and Ranger tried to reach down for it. And immediately after that play, they started talking about hoping he didn't tweak his back. And I think right after that, he gave up a big run or something. So it's one of those things that when you talk about our strengths going into this, in this second half of the season, it looks like now it's a big concern. But, Nola was on the mound last night, so hopefully he'll be coming back soon. And hopefully what happened to Ranger is just a blip on the radar.
I hope. Look, if Zach is physically okay, he's going to be fine, right? The only concern I have with Zach is the shoulder really an issue and how much of an issue it's going to be. But if he's healthy, I expect Zack Wheeler to soon get back to being Zack Wheeler. The Ranger thing, I think, is a major concern. I mean, Ranger Suarez, for as good as he is and as good as he's been as a Philly, he keeps showing us he's not really built for 162. He's built for bursts of being really good and really crafty, and I trust him in a big spot in October. But there are certain pitchers that are just like horses, and then they just pitch 30 starts a year, and they'll get hurt. Hugh, that's not Ranger. Whether it's the back or whatever, it just feels like every year we go through these, oh man, Ranger's amazing, Ranger's an all-star, we can't lose Ranger, and then reality hits, and he goes back to being not quite as good. I just think his body's not built for 162. I think it's part of the issue with Ranger Suarez. In fact, I'm looking forward here with this. And how many starters do you feel great about right now? I feel great about Christopher Sanchez. And is that it right now? Look, I'm concerned about Ranger.
Taiwan had a nice little outing.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's supposed to make me feel great?
I'm just saying, I'm pointing it out. I'm just pointing it out.
Okay. Are you?
I'm just pointing out the fact that the fact that, we might need some guys that we need to lean on, and Taiwan might be one of those guys. See, this is the thing that I don't understand. The other day, when I didn't have nothing to say about Taiwan, y'all got all over me because you felt I abandoned him.
Well, you have abandoned him.
Now I throw his name out there, and after a good outing, now you have a problem with that. Like, which way are we going with this?
I'd like for you to just ride for your guy Taiwan at all times.
I do ride for him. I just didn't have a feel for it another day.
I know, but that's on you. If anyone's supposed to have a feel for Taiwan, it's you.
Yeah,
all right, where do you come down on the Phillies pitching? What's your concern level right now? All right, so not concerned, mildly concerned, very concerned. Where do you come down? Not concerned at all, Hugh? Mild or very?
Mildly concerned.
Okay.
Mildly concerned.
I am mildly concerned, but I'm way closer to very concerned than not concerned. Like, if you're not concerned, your head's in the sand right now.
Yeah, I'm like one piece of news away from like hitting the panic.
One piece of news.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. If Zack Wheeler is not the Zack Wheeler that we know, we can pretty much kiss a World Series goodbye.
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
I hate to put it that way, but it's true.
Well, I mean, I don't even know how we would get through the postseason.
We wouldn't.
Yeah, because we were dependent on him quite a bit.
Well, like before the trade deadline, and even now, like the number one reason that I believe the Phillies can win the World Series is because of the dominant starting pitch.
Yes.
And if Zack Wheeler's not dominant, then you have one sure thing in your starting rotation.
And the reality is Zach hasn't been dominant for the past 3 or 4 starts. He's been very pedestrian by his standards. Ranger's been, I'd say, below average for a while now. They need those two. Christopher Sanchez is the only rock in the rotation at this very moment. They need Wheeler to figure this out. Now, he's supposed to start Sunday. I think it's going to be telling how he pitches Sunday, what his velocity is, and let's see if he actually pitches Sunday, because all they did right now is push him back 2 days. Like Kyle said, one more piece of news. If they push Wheeler back another couple days, then
he's going to lose it.
We hit the panic button.
Yeah. Just real quick, bit of NFL Eagles related news.
Yep.
Looks like, according to Aaron Wilson, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is down at Texans camp. Looks like his knee. The field is silent, and everyone's taking a knee, so,
We wish him the best. Hopefully it's not as severe as it looks.
yeah.
But that, when you hear that coming out of a camp, that typically means it's a pretty severe injury. So we wish the best to C.J. Gardner-Johnson in his first camp there with the Texans. Sounds like he is down, and it is significant. 215-592-9494. We'll throw the Phillies in the mix. What is your concern level right now with the starting pitching? And it's happened suddenly. I mean, Rangers fallen off, which is typically what happens. He has high highs, and then he falls off. And then the Wheeler thing, which I get a weird feeling about the Wheeler thing. It's the fact that there was a story this morning that he's felt this for a few weeks. Hugh, you said some of those pitchers have to work through things. If this just popped up on Saturday, and then they were like, all right, let's back off for a few days, I'd say, okay. It's a long season. He was a little sore Saturday. The fact that this has been going on reportedly now for a few weeks, according to sources back Elb Road, a few weeks of soreness. And is it fair to also bring up, Hugh, their doctors have missed things this year. Aaron Nola, they missed something, and we missed him for months. Alec Boehm, they said, had a sore rib. We haven't seen him for a month.
See, I didn't make that connection, but that is not a good look.
It's not. It's concerning to me that we have doctors with the Phillies right now that have missed some big things this season. I hope Wheeler's just got some general soreness, but what if they're missing something there?
Yeah, that's.
Are we sure these aren't the Sixers doctors?
No, they go across the street. We need to check those credentials if we have another IL stint here.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. Maybe I'm gonna keep that one to myself.
What do you got?
Yeah, because I don't feel like.
Stop keeping things to yourself.
I don't know. I was just about to say, maybe if Zach picked up some weights, maybe he wouldn't.
You're not doing this.
No.
I'm just saying, maybe athletes.
This negates the whole apology from the other day.
It really
Skeptical
does.
Animals.
I'm just saying.
I mean, this is offensive to me.
I'm just saying.
Stop talking about my boy like that.
I'm just saying.
This is the best or second best athlete in the city, according to the voting. Or you know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pitcher.
He's a pitcher, a great pitcher, who the Phillies need. You're blaming Zack Wheeler for this?
No, I'm just saying.
Wheeler would probably want the Eagles starters to play tonight.
There's no
He's
question.
not soft like you.
I'm just saying.
Mr. I pick up weights.
Maybe if he picked up some weights.
Maybe he did, and that's how we got hurt. Blaming you.
Yeah, that's about. Well, it's too like Zach. If you picking up weights now, you talking about only playing for 2 more years. You waited too long, bro.